Nichols and Jack Sherwood, the nephew of the aforementioned Oliver, Bordoni, AP McCoy, John Ferguson, First Avenue. Leighton Aspel will ride many clouds in the Hennessy. Hammersley Lake, Barry Geraghty on last year's winner Triolo de Lane a little later for Nicky Henderson. Exeter, Phil Middleton and Connor Schumacher back on board the horse. Albert Bridge for Emma Lavelle and Aidan Coleman. Vice Vertu, Henry Daly and Richard Johnson. Germany Calling, Charlie Longston and Noel Feely. Home Run, Tom Scudamore for David Pipe. And Triumphant, Jamie and Gary Moore teaming up. So 10 go to post then for this Bet365 Handicap Hurdle. First horse,
Simon.
Thank you, Brian. Good afternoon, everyone. They're coming out at the entrance to the home straight, the start for this Bet365 Handicap Hurdle. And conditions on the hurdles course, when it's wet at Newbury, always that bit stiffer, always a little bit harder to get through. So that's in favour of the field in the Hennessy. It's just not quite so soft on the chase course here. So the starter ready to call them forward. Home Run turning at the back. Looks like he might need leading in under Tom Scudamore. Just a bit tricky at the start. Home Run, and the starter has let them go, and Home Run is with them. So they head on towards the first flight, and Triumphant is going to rise first in the hands of Jamie Moore. From Albert Bridge, the grey on the near side. Over on the far side is Vice Virtue, steady early pace. Silsol close up with Home Run. White with the black cap is Hammersley Lake. Exitas on the near side. Looks similar colours in the light. There are green hoops on the body, worn by Connor Schumacher as they jump the second. At the rear, First Avenue, Bordoni and AP McCoy hidden away over on the far side in a black jacket, and Germany Calling, well supported Germany Calling, who's making a quick reappearance after running third at Kempton on Monday. On towards flight number 3, and Triumphant and Albert Bridge will take this together. On the far side, Vice Virtue, then Home Run in the centre. Out wide is Exitas, followed by Silsol and Hammersley Lake. Bordoni, First Avenue and Germany Calling. Still very steady as they race in front of the stands on this sunny, beautiful winter's afternoon. Doesn't feel like winter at all here at Newbury as they race in front of the judge. Triumphant and Albert Bridge are first and second. Home Run out wide of Vice Virtue. Then Hammersley Lake down the inside, that white black cap, familiar colours of Michael Buckley. Michael has had many a good jumper down the years, but perhaps best known at the moment for his excellent flat horse, Toast of New York, who finished second, of course, in the Breeders' Cup Classic a few weeks ago over at Santa Anita. They run into the back straight. Triumphant, Albert Bridge, Home Run, nearing the first flight in the back. Up on the inside, Vice Virtue, then Exitas. Silsol is next in about 6th place, just ahead of Hammersley Lake. Germany Calling, First Avenue, and finally Bordoni. McCoy just about last now for the John Ferguson team. Over the next, and the two leaders landing as one, with Triumphant on the far side of the grey Albert Bridge and Aidan Coleman. Aidan Coleman had a pretty heavy fall at Lingfield earlier in the week. He picked himself up, had a nasty cut, and he rode the very next day. They're tough, these jump jockeys. Vice Virtue, Home Run and Exitas 3rd, 4th and 5th, and then Hammersley Lake, Silsol and First Avenue, Bordoni, and on the left of your picture is Germany Calling under Noel Feely, who'll be aboard Union East in the Hennessy later on. Germany Calling quietly ridden on the left there, seems to be full of running, but like many of the others, it's still early days. It's a long way home from the far corner of the racecourse here at Newbury. Big galloping left-handed course. Triumphant leads the way to Albert Bridge, Vice Virtue and Home Run in the centre. Then Exitas, the prolific winning Exitas on the outside of Hammersley Lake, who's been kept right up the inner by Barry Geraghty, getting plenty of cover as they swing left-handed out of the back now. Silsol in the purple and yellow. Germany Calling creeping forward out wide of First Avenue, and still no move from McCoy in the black jacket aboard Bordoni. Down the side of the course then as they approach the home turn and coming towards the end of a lap of the track. And Triumphant and Albert Bridge have been in the first two throughout. Home Run though moving up on the outside now to go second under Tom Scudamore. And they are followed by Exitas into 4th place as they now turn into the home straight with 3 flights to jump. The front 4 have kicked on ahead of Silsol. Over on the far side, Hammersley Lake. And then further back, Vice Virtue, who's lost ground over 3 out. It was Triumphant and Home Run. They come quite close together. Tom Scudamore challenging Jamie Moore. In behind them, Albert Bridge. Then Hammersley Lake now picking up a bit on the far side. Exitas and Silsol on the extreme left is making ground as well under Jack Sherwood. This is the second last in the Bet365 Handicap Hurdle. Home Run stood off it, leads to Triumphant as they now race for the final quarter. Silsol, though, is still running on gamely despite a big weight. Less his rider's £7 allowance towards the outside and now takes over. Silsol galloping into the lead from Home Run as they approach the final flight. Silsol rises about 2 lengths clear of Home Run on the far side. Then Hammersley Lake in third. Very tired horses behind. Still a furlong left to travel. Silsol has to be kept up to his work. He's a bit lonely on this stand side, and Hammersley Lake is staying on very strongly in the centre for Geraghty as they race up towards the line. Silsol by a length to Hammersley Lake. Silsol keeping on gamely and will resist the late run of Hammersley Lake. In third, Home Run. Then in fourth, Vice Virtue, followed by Albert Bridge and Triumphant. And then a gap to Bordoni, who never got into it. First Avenue, Germany Calling, and Exitas. Well, his winning run has come to an end. He finished last. Silsol and Jack Sherwood, who won aboard Wilton Milan here yesterday for the Paul Nicholls team. Good effort this. A biggish weight, but the £7 allowance that Jack was able to take off, surely crucial on the run-in.